Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Lefebvre, and last week I did a really fun tutorial using granulating watercolors, and a lot of people in the comments were saying they wanted to see more with them and what else can you paint. So today I wanted to try and paint flowers with them because I actually haven't used these for flowers. I don't know if it's gonna look good. I think those kind of atmospheric landscapes, they look amazing, but will it work with florals? I don't know. So let's test it out and see how it goes. Okay friends, so today I wanted to use my granulating watercolors to paint some florals, and I wanted to do it in my Arkaar Creations sketchbook. I really love this sketchbook. It's from a small company, Arkaar Creations. They do a lot of handmade watercolors that are absolutely gorgeous. I did a collaboration with them last year for a floral palette, but the owner, she also makes, her and her husband, they make these sketchbooks, which I absolutely love. They are 100% cotton and they are such soft paper, but anytime I paint in here, I get inspired. So I wanted to switch it up today and use this sketchbook for it. And I'm going to be using this clip to clip it open, but I'm also going to be using the Gansai Tambi, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, Kiritaki granulating colors. I'm probably going to be using my green, undersea green from Daniel Smith, and whatever granulating colors I have. But I was thinking of doing it in like a cool little vase or vase. So just to get a little glimpse of what these colors look like, because in the pans, they look all the same. There's Aurora Red, Aurora Pink, Aurora Orange, Aurora Blue, and Aurora Violet. And they look like this, the top row. So I was thinking of doing two pots, like two vases of this color and this color, and maybe two flowers, this color and this color. I'm not sure. I'm gonna wing it. We're gonna see how it goes. But this one I like as well. Maybe I'll do some accents, but it's a little bit too vibrant. I don't know. But this is what I want to play with today. I don't know how it's gonna work with watercolor for florals. I mean, I feel like the granulating paints are an acquired kind of look. So I don't know. I've never seen any florals done with them. So that's what we're gonna do today. So we have red, pink, orange, and blue. So I'm going to use these two for pots. I'm going to turn this way, and I'm going to do one here, and then I'm going to do one down below, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start by wetting it up. I'm going to wet these paints up. Okay, and then I think I'm going to do, I don't know. I feel like I'd have to wing it with a lot of it. I'm going to start with this like orangey color, and I'm just going to try and paint kind of like a vase. Now, these colors really shine when you use different values. So you don't want to go like lots of paint, like I'm currently doing, all the way across. You want to use some water because it's in those light washes where those secondary colors that are granulating really shine. So I laid down quite a bit of paint here on the outside. Now I'm going to wash off my brush, and I'm going to use just water to fill in the rest. So I get a really light value towards the center, and you'll start to see those colors separate soon, and it looks incredible. So I'm just going to do a little bottom here like that, maybe a little bit darker towards the top as well. I don't really have a plan for today. We're kind of just experimenting, having fun. Okay, once it starts separating, you're going to be like, whoa, it's pretty intense. Okay, and then for the flower, just kind of looking at what's going to go well. I think I'm going to do maybe an iris with this one, maybe cosmos with this one. Let's do an iris. I think an iris would be beautiful. Okay, and I'm just going to do a really loose iris. So I'm not focusing too much on detail with these. I'm just going to kind of play, have fun. I might actually add a little bit of that purple in there too. Why not? Why not? All right. So with an iris, they have these big petals that kind of flop down. Like this. And again, I don't want it to be super dark everywhere, right? Really want to have the difference in our values to get that separation. And then we have these petals that are kind of upward. Just trying to do it as loose as possible. There's also yellow in the center, so I'm gonna have to grab some yellow from somewhere else because I don't have a granulating yellow. So we'll see how that looks too. And I'm just kind of doing these wavy petals. Don't even know if I'm doing it properly. Okay. I'm gonna bring that down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna grab some yellow from my palette, maybe more of a yellow ochre. I'm just gonna kind of tap it in here. Then I'm gonna add some water. Tap it, kind of going down, let it bleed into the purple a little bit. Like that. I'm gonna grab a little bit more darker color. And my dog is going crazy downstairs. Like always. Just getting some darker values just to kind of define some of the curves in the petals, but still making it very loose. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna do like a little bud over there, I think. I like it. Maybe the bud can be like it's starting to bloom, so I want it a lot lighter because I want that blue to really shine. That's in there. And a little bit more darkness towards the bottom. Like that. I don't know. Okay. Now, I wonder if I'm gonna drop a little bit of water in there just to also help with that separation of the colors. So these are like dual granulating colors, right? There's two. The lighter parts are gonna be like a blue separation, and then the darker parts are a bit more purple. So you want those difference in values. You want those, you know, kind of like blooms just to see the difference for the texture. It just looks really cool. What would happen if I added a little bit of this purple? Is it bright enough? Just a little bit. Because it's a pretty vibrant purple. I feel like I should do more, but I think I'm gonna leave it. I don't know. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my green, which is in my other palette. And this is the Daniel Smith Undersea Green, which is a really nice granulating green. And I'm going to, you're not going to be able to see the base of that underneath, but you'll be able to see the stem. And then the part that's kind of holding, there's like a little leafy part that's kind of holding the bud over here. And their stems are quite thick. And it's okay if it bleeds into the flower a bit. I'm just going to try and have some leaves folding over because you don't want it to look like the iris is just floating there, right? It would look kind of weird. So we're going to have leaves kind of coming over the edges for that iris to really lean on. Get a little bit more darker color there. I have another one kind of coming up that way. See that? And part of me wants to kind of add a little bit of like a gold, like a yellow in these leaves. Just a hint. So I'm mixing it a little bit with my green. like so. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, so the pot's kind of dry. It actually doesn't look like, I mean, the separation is there, but it doesn't look too textured. So I'm gonna do just a little bit of extra painting on here. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe a little bit of dry brush. So I don't have a lot of paint on my brush. I'm just skimming it over the surface. Like that. Just for something different. I think that looks kind of cool. And then part of me wants like a shadow. Now this is not a granulating color at all, but I love using a lavender for a shadow. So I'm just going to bring this down. And just kind of bring it to one side. I don't know. I love that, the way the lavender looks. I think this looks really pretty. Okay, I want to do a little bit more detail on the iris after, but I'm going to let that dry. Let's do another flower just because this is a lot of fun. Okay, so I want to do kind of like some like cherry cosmos. All right, so let's move this one up there and we're going to try another one. All right, so for this one, I'm going to use the other color for the vase. Let's start with that one. The blue, Aurora blue. And I want it to be a little bit more narrow, I think. So I'm starting with a lot of color. It's gonna have like a narrow top. It's like a potion bottle. And then I'm gonna grab lots of water, wash some of that color off my brush, touch the edge. Don't know if I love the shape. The color is really pretty though. A little top to it. Ooh, the blue that's kind of coming through is so pretty. Little bottom here. Make it a little bit darker. Okay. I really like that. I don't know, the color is really pretty. So I'm going to darken that one side. Then I'm going to just kind of take a little bit of clean water and just tap it in on this side to get some of that lighter blue. It's so pretty. All right. I feel like it's not completely even, but it's good enough. All right. Good enough. All right, let's do the flowers. Okay, for my flowers, I'm going to use my 1/4 inch flat brush. And we are using the red, I believe. The Aurora red. So I want to make sure it's nice and wet. And I'm just going to, so with my flat brush when I'm doing flowers, I put it on an angle so one corner touches down. And you get these really cool, kind of flat, not as pointed flower shapes. And then kind of one little curved one at the bottom here, like that. I just added more water to my brush instead of paint. And I'm just doing these really loose flower shapes. Maybe a bigger one here. I don't know if it's too close to the vase color, that it's not enough contrast. But this is why we play, right? This is why we play. We try different things that we haven't. I'm going to try some really light ones back here. So I just added more water. on my brush, and I'm not even really picking up paint. Maybe I'll try and touch a couple of the other ones just to get some of that. Ooh, look at the blue that's shining through there. So pretty. We're gonna have stems kind of all in here. Trying to figure out, do I do a little bud down here, maybe? Maybe a little bud up here. I'm gonna drop a little bit more water in this one. I feel like this is a little too dark. Or just like even lift up some of the color. Oops. Yeah, so the lighter the color, the more blue it is. The darker the color, the more violet it is. So actually what I might do, blue. I had to remember which one. I'm going, is it this one? No, that's the color of the vase. My bad. Okay, I'm gonna grab my pointed brush, my round brush, and I'm just gonna tap like the centers of these so they're darker. Like that. They're darker in the center and the petals are a little bit more lighter. That makes sense? These are really cool to work with. And I saw someone's comment saying they were scared of granulating paints because they're so unpredictable, and they are. Like, I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but that's kind of the beauty of it. It's just like, so just like a way to let go of perfection and control is a really good exercise to have in art because we can't control everything. So this is a really interesting way to do it. I don't know if I love how this is looking, but it's okay. Okay. I'm going to grab my green again. Oops. Okay. Grab my green from my Daniel Smith one, and now I'm going to do these really thin stems. Anytime you're doing flowers, I want you to visualize the stem coming right through that center, skipping the petal and then touching down to the paper. You always want to make sure it makes sense of where it's coming. I've seen flowers where like the flower's here and the stem's coming here. It just doesn't make sense, so it doesn't look as realistic. So just keep that in mind. Your stem placement can do a lot for your paintings. And also making it nice and thin sometimes, if the stems are thin, is really nice. Okay, just gonna add a little bit more. A little bit of a base to some of these little buds. Can't remember what the cosmos look like. I feel like, yeah, they have those, not really leaves, right? They have those kind of piecey lines for leaves. Gonna get a little bit darker. Okay. But you can also do some bigger leaves too, like we have some greenery in there. Just to fill it up a bit if you want. You can have some kind of falling over. I actually really like this one. I feel like maybe the color choice of this, the flowers and the vase, are a little too similar with the blues. I don't know if they go well quite necessarily together. It actually might be worth I dropped some on my other painting. It also might be worth looking into, you know, doing just granulating flowers in a normal vase, or having regular watercolors for the flowers and just using the granulating paints for the vase. Just kind of like, too much granulation might be a bit too much. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're just trying everything today. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in the center of those flowers. Just a tap of yellow, like that. And then with this vase, I'm going to bring this back. We used the blue, right? I'm going to do a little bit more on here. Just gonna, oops, come around. We can always do the dry brush again. And always kind of curve it around. If you're doing a circular object, you never want to go straight across. Curve it kind of like a U, so that helps with the look and the movement of the vase or the object, right? So if you want it to look more curved, you're going to curve your lines. I think it looks kind of cool. Okay. And then let's just do our little lavender down here just because I like it. It's bleeding into that a little bit. That's okay. Maybe that's part of the shadow. I'll still like it. Maybe even add a little bit of indigo. But you can always sharpen that up after if you wanted to. Or you don't have to do like a table at all. Okay. So there's that one. The flowers are dry with this one, so I might... Which one did we use again? Aurora Red. I might actually take a bit more paint, and you can always just do a couple little lines just for a little bit of separation of the petals, a little bit more detail. It's up to you what you want your painting to look like. If you want it to be a bit more structured and detailed or like super loose. No wrong way to do this. And you will honestly, you won't know what look you like until you do it. Do I like that? I don't know. Might have liked it the other way before, but that's how we learn, right? Kind of want a little bit more darkness to some of those leaves, just for a bit more contrast in there. It's all good. All right, that's kind of cool. I like that. I want to do a little bit more on the iris here. So we used the Aurora Pink, right? So I'm just going to take a little bit more of that because irises have some really cool patterns on them. I want to do just like a few lines going down the middle. You might want to get a really small, thin brush. If you want to do this, you don't have to. Totally up to you how you want to do it. You can add some shadow, not blue, pink, right? Keep forgetting which color I used. Just adding some shadow, some separation, some folds in the petals. I don't know if I like those lines, but that's okay. Maybe cut this one in half there. Kind of like it. Feel like I could have done a bit better with the lines there. And then the greenery, I just want some of it to stand out a bit more. So I'm just going to darken up this leaf behind the stem and then the front leaf to make it pop out. I'm going to darken this one behind as well. So it looks like that one is kind of coming in the foreground. Maybe a little bit of shadow under there. Like that. Man, not a whole lot of detail, but still looks pretty cool. I don't remember what color I used. Okay. But there we go. So, do granulating colors work with florals? I say yes. I think they actually look really cool. gives this kind of antique-y kind of look. I might try next time maybe just the vases or maybe just the flowers, but I think they look really awesome. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on all my other platforms for tons more content. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.